Well, President Trump is making a new effort to try and seek the release of the remaining hostages held in Gaza, issuing a fresh ultimatum to Hamas. In a social media post, the president wrote, quote, "Release all of the hostages now, not later, and immediately return all of the dead bodies of the people you murdered, or it is over for you. Only sick and twisted people keep bodies, and you are sick and twisted." The president goes on to say that he is going to, quote, be sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job, and saying that not a single Hamas member will be safe if you don't do as I say. He goes on to say that this is Hamas's, quote, last warning, and also issues a warning to the people of Gaza, saying that a beautiful future awaits you, but not if you hold hostages. If you do, quote, you are dead. This certainly isn't the first time that we have heard this kind of tough language from the president being directed at Hamas regarding the remaining hostages being held in Gaza. But this time it seems to come with a lot more meat on the bone, and it also comes at a very, very delicate moment in this ongoing ceasefire. Phase 1 of this ceasefire agreement has been completed with the release of 33 Israeli hostages in exchange for more than 1,700 Palestinian prisoners. But now we are in the delicate stage where the U.S. and Israel are both trying to pressure Hamas not to get into phases 2 and 3 of that deal, which would lead to the withdrawal of Israeli troops and the end of the war in Gaza, but instead are trying to impose new conditions on Hamas. We know that Israel has put forward this new proposal to see 6 or 7 more weeks of ceasefire in exchange for the release of half of the remaining living and dead hostages being held in Gaza, and now President Trump with this ultimatum to release all of the hostages immediately or effectively face the wrath of a U.S.-backed Israeli military resuming its war in Gaza. Israel has already begun to block humanitarian aid into Gaza as an effort to pressure Hamas, one that has drawn immense criticism from the international community and human rights groups who have called that a violation of international law. And now, clearly, there is also very much the specter of the Israeli military recommencing its fight in Gaza amid this latest tweet from the president. Hamas is already firing back. The spokesman for Hamas, Hassan Qasem, says that these threats, quote, complicate matters regarding the ceasefire agreement and encourage the occupation government, meaning Israel, not to implement the agreement. He is then calling on the U.S. administration to instead pressure Israel to enter the phase 2 of the ceasefire agreement as was previously scheduled. We've also now learned that the United States has been holding direct conversations with Hamas. Adam Boehler, the special envoy for hostage affairs for the United States, has met with Hamas officials in Qatar, according to a report from Axios. That was effectively confirmed by the White House press secretary, who said that Israel was consulted on this matter and that the talks are, quote, ongoing, but that she would not get into the details. This would be the first time that the United States has engaged in direct talks with Hamas, as far as we know. Jeremy Diamond, CNN, Tel Aviv.